Hey guys, welcome back on my channel. I have been away because I had foot surgery, and yeah, it's still a problem. Painful, very painful. It's gonna be weeks until I'm healed, but fine, let's not talk about that. Anyway, last week I went to get a facial with Natalia Robinson. That's the facialist that I always go to. She's amazing. Her fingers are just magic. And she said, for the second time now, because in the previous facial she said that too, she said, you wear too much makeup, you have beautiful skin, you should let your skin show. And my relationship with makeup is very complicated because it's my working armor and I also enjoy playing with it, etc, etc. But I said, you know what, you've got a point, my skin is doing well, so I'm going to try and wear less makeup and see how that goes, and that would probably change the aesthetic of the looks that I wear. The thing is that obviously the products that I have gotten recently are all Fenty Beauty, and I wasn't going to go and buy It Cosmetics CC cream or something like that just because I want to experiment with sheer makeup. So I played a bit with what I have in here, trying to come with a dialed down light coverage kind of makeup. And I was definitely inspired by the Bobbi look, which was coined by Beyonce's makeup artist. I don't really watch Beyonce or any contemporary music, but I also like to, you know these kind of trends. It's hardly a trend because it's a couple of years old, but I thought it's a very good inspiration to try this look. And so I have been wearing this for a couple of days and I really liked it. I feel like it's a lot less maintenance. I just feel like at the end of the day it still looks the same, and I feel that I can still see all the imperfections in my skin. I love seeing my freckles, the real ones and the faux ones. I love that I get a little bit more leeway with my eyebrows when I have skipped the maintenance, etc. And so whenever I want to play it up, I just need to add a lipstick, maybe a swipe of color if I feel like it, and then some earrings and more definition to my hair. Today I decided to keep it in a frizzy afro, but over the past few days, oh, I've cut it. Yeah, over the past few days I've been also wearing it in a very curly way. So this is my boy beat look with light coverage. I hope that you will enjoy this look, and if you are new to makeup or don't like to have a very caked on face, I think it's a very fresh take. I think that it just works really well, especially for winter right now. Is it winter officially? Yeah, we have winter weather anyway, and it's very cold, sunny as you can see, and dry. So I just love not having layers and layers of makeup on my face, because then I can wear my coats, I can wear my high necks, etc. without worrying too much about that. So the sun is gonna do its thing, so I'm just going to let you enjoy the video. See you very soon on my channel. Take care. I'm starting with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr base. So this is the primer, and I'm only going to have one pump, which I'll use all over the T-zone. So this area will not have any foundation on it actually, so I just apply it all over to mattify. I find that it is quite a mattifying primer. I wasn't expecting it to work because when you apply it, it does have a bit of a creamy texture to it, but while it goes on as a lotion, I feel that once it dries out and it just seeps into your skin, it's actually quite good. It's quite effective. So I have applied it all over this T-zone. For the rest of my face, I'm probably going to want a little bit of coverage around here, not too much, and a little bit down here. But I'll first start by correcting my under eye. For this I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown corrector. It's the shade Deep Peach. That's what it looks like. I have been using this for quite some time. This is, I think, my second pot of this, and I'm going with a flat synthetic brush by MAC, and here I'm going very close to the eyelid. Notice that whenever I use a concealer, I would not go that close, but because this is a corrector, I don't mind going that close to the eyelid, and I'm being very gentle. I like to go over with my finger just to somehow melt the product into my skin. I will go a little bit around my mouth because it's darker and because I didn't remove my mustache. So just a little bit. I use the tiniest amount, so you can barely see that, but it will make a difference once I start applying makeup. So that's the correction done. I just put on a little bit of lip balm. This is the Caudalie one. I really like it. I got it once from Sephora many years ago, and I remember loving it, and so every time that I have a chance I just go and buy one. For the rest of my face, for the complexion, this is where we work on the sheer coverage. I have just put a little bit of the Radiance base by MAC Prep Prime. So it comes in a tube like this, and I've had this for quite a while, and it does have a very strong yellow tone to it. I didn't use it because I felt that it was a bit too shiny and a little bit too visible, I guess. It was, I think I got it when people were just getting into that whole strobing thing. I've never caught on the strobing bit, and I don't like glazed looking skin, etc. So I just kept it, but now I just found the best use for it, which is to sheer out this Fenty Beauty foundation. So I have the Pro Filtr Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. My shade is 370, and I'm going to shake it. You always want to shake it. And then I'm going to use one full pump, and that's it. Every time I watch videos of people, they use 4 pumps, 5 pumps, even more. I do one single pump, and you've seen that I have mixed it with another big pump or pump and a half of the base, and then I'm just mixing it like that with my thick brush. So this is also from Fenty Beauty. I like it because it's very thick, and as I mix this, it's going to absorb the product, and then I'm going to just smooth it all over. Now, how I go about it over my face is just go over the areas where I do know I have discoloration and some things that I don't necessarily like about my face, but I go very lightly. So I know that it's this C area and this bit. Same thing on the other side. This thing barely added coverage because it had that thick layer of primer on it. But I just go and flatten a little bit the corrector. You will notice that I haven't added any foundation to the brush, and this is why I like the Bobbi brown corrector. It's that you can actually use it by itself without having to put a concealer on top when you want very natural days like that. So you can still see a lot of my imperfections. I can see the texture, but I do feel also that it has been filled a little bit. The next step is my favorite step. I have already shared it in a previous video, but it's adding some of my freckles. I won't do much today simply because I don't have a lot of coverage, so you can already see a lot of my discoloration. So I just go randomly like that. It takes a few seconds, and that's it. Then on my nose, I already know where I have my freckles. The thing is that because I haven't added any coverage to my nose, I still have my original ones. So I'm just adding a few here. I like to add a few on my forehead. The funny thing about my freckles is that they're pretty symmetrical. So for instance, I have one here and I have one here. I don't know, it's just I have freckles, I have moles, I also have the darker ones. I always forget the name. It has something negris in it, or negra or something, I forgot, but that's Latin for black. Yeah, so very roughly just added tons of freckles on my face, and I feel that that contributes to having that fresh, untouched look. So this is my skin all freckled up. Now we're going to do the brows. So I'm just taking this Anastasia 7B brush, brushing my brows upwards. For a boy beat, definitely a bushy brow is key, because you want to still keep a slightly rough masculine feel to it. So I'm going with my Anastasia dip brow, and this is on its last legs. I think I'll still get a few months use out of this, but I have a backup anyway. And so I just brush upwards. I want my brows to remain thick. Upward, upward. When I brush them upwards, I actually can see where they need a bit more filling. So for instance, around here, around the base. Very, very thick. See? Very strong brow. Same on the other side. I always struggle with the left eyebrow just because I have to go across my body and it's just not comfortable, and yeah, and I always feel like I'm not brushing upwards, but we'll get there, we'll get there. The good thing about the dip brow thing is that you can shade it out, you can fix it just like that. As long as it hasn't set, you can always fix it, so I never feel pressured to do it perfectly. I have a little bald spot here, so I'm gonna do that. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh. My foot hurts because I had surgery recently, and yeah, it's all broken, so it just hurts. Now, I'm going to add brow gel, just because my brows are very, very fine, and they will move the moment I just do something else. So I like to add brow gel. Again, very, very strong strokes upwards. I barely used product, so just it's more about the upward stroke. Very, very bushy. Oh my god, I love this. And then just like that across. So I leave the bushy upward motion in the middle of the brow, but then I just tame it like that. Now we're going to powder the face. So I've had the little faux freckles sit a little bit. Here again, I'm going to go very, very lightly. No, I'm not going to use this powder. I'm going to use the other one. So I'm going to use Fenty Beauty Hazelnut. This is the Pro Filtr powder in the shade Hazelnut. I'm not going to use much, so I'm just going to tap it once. That's how much product I got. And then I'm going to just swirl my brush here and then very lightly go over my face. I'm not disturbing anything, not that there is any makeup to disturb, but just going all over with the most minimal amount of product that there is. That's it. Now, for the boy beat, there were two things. They tried to give some depth to the eyes, so they would accentuate some of the tired features, you know, like under the eye. I didn't. That's why I kind of used the corrector, but I will also still darken a little bit the inner of my eyes, and for that I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker. This is in Cocoa Noti, so I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to just take a MAC 217 and I'm gonna go on this and just darken. I'm going to use it almost as a shade all over. I like to keep my eye open just to see where the color is going, and the idea here is just to darken the natural shade of my eyes. I already have dark eyelids, so they almost always look like they have makeup on, which is quite useful, but I'm just making it a little bit more visible. I'm going with a very short stumpy brush, and with that same bronzer I'm gonna go under the eye to kind of set the look. I feel like when you use the same color top and bottom of your eyelids, it kind of anchors the look instead of having your eyes look like they're floating. I don't like this brush. It's so stumpy and it's not soft at all, but it gets the job done. So that's the eyes done. You're not meant to have a glamour look or any blush, but you guys, I love blush, you know this. My favorite is this one. You could see how much pan I have in it, and so I'm going to still use a little bit, not as much as I usually do, but everybody catches the sun, so I think it would still be a fun part of the boy beat look. I can't do any look without having blush in it. If I'm not wearing blush, I just feel that I look a bit sick. The key is to have it everywhere where the sun would touch. And I noticed I haven't dipped my brush again, so I'm just working it through. I don't do anything for my lips. I just keep them like that. I will very briefly use a little teensy tiny bit of mascara just to neaten up my eyelashes. And that's not because you don't want a sultry eyelash look. For me, it's more because whenever I use some kind of powder, I just feel like my eyelashes become gray. So this is almost just cleaning them up. I might as well also just wipe them or use a clear mascara. So not meant to add any volume. I'm not going to line them or anything. So this is just it. Sometimes I like to spray like a rose water kind of hydrosol. So I have one from what's his name, from Aesop, I really like. I also have this one from Caudalie. It's called Eau de Beauté. That's the famous beauty elixir. I don't know, I just feel like I like it a bit less now than I did 6 or 7 years ago. I think I'm just a bit nervous about the alcohol content in it, because I feel like it's going to dry out my skin. But I have just spritzed a little bit of it. I absolutely love the smell of that. And that would be the Bobbi look. So I will just turn you guys so that you can see what this looks like in real light, because I know every time that I film such a look, it always looks like I have a white patch here, I have some dark patch here or something like that. But I like this look when you try to be a little bit boyish or just have a more natural beauty look to you. I have been rocking it for a few days now, and I really like it.